Good evening, guys. Nightly strategy podcast for Tortoise Capital for Christmas Eve, December 24th. Just sharing some nice words from Agnieszka, who's doing a great job as an intern for us, helping us remember what's really important. Never give up. Keep going. Chi Wing Chong offers us the Sector Z scores for the RL30 slips. So let's take a look at that. Energy is starting to bottom out at minus 1Z. Finance has been the next weakest sector. Materials and SPY are under the zero line. And even tech has caught up and is all collapsing together and puts us at a critical state, as we looked at last night. And then in the tug of war between conservative consumer staples and aggressive consumer discretionary is really losing. That's triggered by big losses in Tesla, which is the number one holding in XLY. And the mature companies, the staples, have been holding up a little bit better. But you can see this has been basically a broad market sell-off altogether. Now, if we do get price that holds here and we get some kind of bottoming action, then this would still constitute kind of like a COTA 2. And then we could expect to see it rise back up to here and even here. So this is a critical state this week in anticipation of the January effect. We'll see what happens. I expect more volatility intraday, but lighter volumes. So more tactical opportunities. This is a nice note from Charles, who said he's going to start jumping in on the swing trade postings. Ken H. has been a great teacher, and Charles wants to do his part to keep the work going. And so he's offered one for us today. And this is in Apple. So the first one from Charles, well done. So we've got a weekly, daily, and a 65-minute. He's got the full range of support and resistance. He's got this here, showing this as the midpoint between all of that. So that's a real solid at 130 and then 123. So if 130 breaks, 123 is next on the docket. But you'll notice that we're at the bottom of this, of what has been a on the weekly charts, a strong channel from about 170 to 130. So that's about a $40 channel, about 25% swings. So it could not really get above 150, and rejected, and for the last 4 days has sort of stabilized here. Charles has this bracketed, ready to go in either direction, and I like that right there. If it breaks out above yesterday's high, it's in the green zone and off we go. You could add a position at 135, and then you're using about a $3 risk. And your reasonable target to the upside is at least here, the 5-day high, but also here. So that's a $12 upside here on a $3 risk. So that's 4-1. So we'd expect to see that if people are looking for buying mature tech companies on sale during this moment of weakness. That would be a natural one for long-term mutual funds to have to own, and pension funds. It's postured pretty nicely here in the MACD Four Seasons on the 65 minute. It's poised right here in the winter, but if we got a nice day or two move, that winter would become spring. And we're not really sanguine about it until it gets above the zero line, and that means it would have to probably get back to 142, 145 in that region. So there has to be a nice move to make the daily shift. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the. Let's take a look at the reports. All right, so for the weekend, let's see here. Yeah, let's go back to the 150, or the RLFF, I should say. All right, so we have the 10 and the 30 both pointing down, crossing the 90. So that is a short-term weakness, long-term strength. That puts this in a state of indecision, a compound critical state, where there's a large move in either direction as possible. The move to the downside would be 370 to connect to the RL27. I just want you to notice that that this combination of upward price action here, this whole segment here, was enough to turn the RL90 in a positive direction and enough to make the RL270 flatten out. So this is quite a different view than we saw way back here, where the 270 was down, the 90 was down, the 30 was down. So this little price action here really does look like bottoming action. It has slowed the sell-off, and now it's a question: is this where the support's going to be, north of the 270? If so, as I said before, then that makes the case for a COTA 2 long-term. And then if a COTA 2 long-term gives you some possibilities to get back to 430. So if this can turn and hold and basically stay north of 370, there's a chance. And that would be in two stages. The first one would be to about 405 and then 430. Two $25 moves. We're looking at a fence sitter situation here. We have small 5-day volatility stuck right in the middle of the 150, ready to go in either direction. That makes it a compound critical state because it's right in the middle of the look back period, and the volatility is low, but it's also at near a 10-day low and a 30-day low. So those two extreme price locations make this a landmine waiting to explode. Friday's price action was basically low volume, an inside day. Nothing much to see here. It was just people couldn't wait to get out of this week. So not much to see there. I would note that EFA is better than SPY. SPY is on cash, and you notice that its performance has really been poor compared to EFA. That's the Euro-Asia blend. So right now it's EFA, Australia, better, stronger than the U.S. Energy has been a reliable short-term swing, along with industrials and healthcare. So I'm interested in XLE. See if I can't get that thing up. I want to make sure we look at that symbol. ETF 32s. Silver, I don't know. Maybe that's feels like that run is done, but we're going to want to take a look at wheat and precious metals too. In the Dow 30, Boeing and Caterpillar continue to just crush it. Nike and Chevron. Wow, what a move. Wonder if that's just bottom feeders in Nike. I guess we're going to put Merck in there too. I'm noticing that the gold miners are green and white. That's a sign of new strength. And then also Europe and home construction. Okay. So we've already got wheat and precious for gold. We'll look at ITB for home builders. Quick look at the most liquids using ATR percentage. Energy, Brazil. Gold miners and semiconductors. Biotech. And oil exploration. All right, there's a cautionary tale there on ILF as a potential dead cat bounce. So that's going to make us look at Brazil and Mexico too in sympathy. Bear normal. That little drift up put us in slightly above average, but basic weakness everywhere you look. ExxonMobil and Chevron, that's the energy. Tesla, Intel, Disney, Alcoa. So there's a 5DD in Tesla. Couple 551Ws in Cisco and Home Depot. In the ETF tactical, triple screen and EFA and IEV. Pardon me. The auto framers, no surprises there. We're in this squeezes. So Tesla, another reason to look at it as a Godzilla and Apple as a Godzilla. So Charles W. picking a Godzilla for us. I'm going to add WDC as a semi. Intel, yeah. Let's see. It seems all right now. In the multi-time frame NDX, ExxonMobil and Chevron just crushing it. And Brazil had a really strong one-day move, so that's another reason to like Brazil. All right, let's go take a look at the charts. Be nice if I could sort those, huh? Yeah. All right, let's get these done by. All right, we're just going to look at the daily, looking at the sniper setup. So we'll start with energy. Really? I don't have energy in there. I like that in energy. We just got the PSAR flip, so nice strong support. As soon as that breaks above 87, up it goes until about 95. I like that. ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is about in the same position as XLE, but it made the turn a little bit sooner and had 4 days to fail, and it didn't. I take that as a very strong sign that energy is poised. Chevron. Now, Chevron's interesting for a different reason, and that is it has a really favorable reward to risk ratio. It just made the turn. This would be a 1, 2, 3 entry, and you got a really small risk box. Back to a 10-day high. Wow. And then if that fails, you got to believe it's coming to here. So I would really prioritize Chevron. I like that one a lot. That's like a fence sitter. EFA, you can see this is much stronger than the US has been, and it's held up pretty well. So that's a 1, 2, 3 entry if you buy it here with about a $2 risk, and a reasonable target to the upside. That's about almost 2 to 1. There's probably better ones, but that's a lot stronger than the S&P has been. Just as a point of comparison. Look how weak the S&P has been. And the Russell. Now the strongest U.S. sector has been index has been DIA, almost as strong as EFA, but not quite. Tech has really been getting slaughtered. See how bad that is. So it's really the conservative plays. Excuse me. IEV. That's the European 350. Yeah, also strong like EFA. Silver looking very strong. Yeah. But to me, that almost feels like the easier run is done because that feels like a lot of resistance in here. And I feel like it's right in the middle of all that. So there might still be some pull up to here, but it's got to get above 24 to really convince me that it's out of this trading range. So there's a small advantage here, whereas here on the COTA 2, there was a lot of advantage because you had a small risk going to here. Well, it's almost gotten there. So silver to me, well, would have been better earlier. Wheat and precious metals in the same condition. This actually has a more favorable consolidation here with a target of about 44, 46, and then 52. And then if that fails, coming back down to 30. I like wheat and precious metals here. Compound critical state. Boeing has just been on a tear. This shows you the power of those COTA 2s. Low, higher low, and take off and go. A low, a higher low, take off and go. There's another COTA 2, and it's really cleared all of this stuff. So the next real strong resistance here is at 220. So it's got about a $20 move, which is about a 10% gain still. So if you could manage a $5 risk, you can get a 4-to-1. As fast as we're throwing money at the Ukraine, man, Caterpillar. Sort of the bellwether for the industrial sector. Boy, that's nice. Yeah, it's a great American company, has fought its way all the way back up to the top of the stack, and now starting to show a willingness to go. So even if you played a $10 risk, it's at an all-time high. Just let it go. Great swing. And I think that's leading the way in XLI. Yeah. Industrials have been pretty strong too. Nike. Yeah, that was this little bounce from here to here is what made Nike. That's a 9% gain, and I would just say, you know what, it's come all the way back out of here. That's a cup and handle, and if that goes, it should be able to get to 130 and 140. That feels pretty solid for swings. Merck. Yeah. Just free and clear. Just buy it and leave it alone. We've been saying that for a couple months. Home builders, which is interesting because everybody's talking about pain and suffering in the housing markets. But this has been on a relative strength basis. That's actually pretty good. And it's made it all the way back to support or resistance level. So if that can get through 64, then that leaves all of this behind. And now you think it's going to get to 70. Much stronger than the rest of the market. Semiconductors. Yeah, along with the rest of the tech weakness. And we saw our little three semis all getting smashed this week. As soon as that pops below 200, be shorted again. XBI, that is just dead money. Or said another way, sideways quiet channel. I wonder if that's a Z3 pinch yet. It should be. Yeah, pretty close. Nah, not quite. Yeah, we're still, we've got a Z3 pinch going on. We're a sideways quiet channel. But we're miles away from a super pinch yet. Yeah. Try. Oil exploration is in a perfect fence sitter. You know, here's your trading range. Sitting right in the middle, and it oscillates between highs and lows and is stuck right there in the middle, ready to go large in either direction. And energy has been very volatile and a great swinger, so just follow the price on that one. Latin America, let's just go straight to Brazil. This is a supported spring crossing. Ready to go. $3 risk. Target 34. Which is a $6 upside. Just getting ready to cross into the summer. So here was the spring, and that's looking pretty good. His running buddy in Mexico, even better. Has less of a pullback and a very orderly turn. Boy, you just love that. And then if it gets above 54, look out above. So that's a great tactical target right there. I love Mexico right there. Tesla is a 5DD. Just as bad as it can be. Instantly crush it. Disney. Interesting. If this can hold support at 85, you could get a 1, 2, 3 entry here as a speculative play. I would have to see the S&P up, and I would have to see Disney better than the S&P. But then if I saw that, I'd be willing to venture a swing on that. Your first target is 100, second target is 108. Failure below 85 is an instant short. And I'd rather play that one, to be honest. Alcoa. Just a great trader. I would start this off at turbo. I like the support. I like that it's preparing to break that and to get to 50. I just started intraday. Cisco. Pretty good for a tech a tech old school leader right now. And what you like to see is this consistent COTA 2. Um, what we need to see here is a PSAR flip, which would happen out about here. But if that R10 can reverse, this week will tell us if there's any legs left in Cisco. So I would put that one on the back burner, but certainly one to watch. That could be a tell for the rest of the tech sector, because it has done a lot better than conventional tech. You know, as a point of comparison, look how bad the Qs have been, and look how bad S&P tech has been. Home Depot. This is going to make his numbers look pretty bad. You know, the fact that it's got, the 10-day high was here and it sold off that hard. But if this can hold here, then this still feels like a series of COTA 2s. And if that can hold, that's going to lead XLY up. But I like it. I like Home Depot right there with about a $5 risk. Apple we've seen. WDC was at Western Digital. That was a Godzilla. Yeah, perfect. Yep. This is a sleepy Godzilla, right? Because it's in the bottom. It's in an extreme condition on his 10-day range, which is this one. I mean, it's all sitting right here at the 150-day range, just ready to collapse, and the 30-day range and the 10-day range, and it's quiet. So that means it's really prepared to just go enraging in either direction. And look how nice that is. It's had 2 days in a row of just no movement whatsoever. So you can actually start this one off intraday with maybe a 25-cent risk box. And then ready to play to the 5-day high, the PSAR, the top of the RL10, and then the 10-day high. But if that breaks, I mean, look out below. Boy, that is ideal. That's Godzilla territory there. And then finally, Intel. Same condition as Western Digital. I'm short this thing from 29.5, and my stop will be, 2-day high. That's been such a reliable trader. Let me take a look at the swing portfolio here. And I'm going to sort that based on reward to risk ratio. Treasuries, if that fails here, I will be short. Clean energy, if that fails at below 38, I will be short. I'm stalking real estate. I'd like to do a 1, 2, 3 long on that one, to be honest, but otherwise short at about 83, 82.5. U.S. steel pushing the upper limits. I'm just going to intraday that one. I'm not going to swing it. Mexico, I will follow through as a high priority frog champion intraday and try to turn that into a swing. Devon Energy is in great shape for a nice swing here. Cliff in great shape, and Brazil. Now, if I drop down to my 30-minute, a little easier to see where we're at on this one. Yeah, so Treasuries, my last trade on the 30 minutes, this is the intraday swing, was short and covered. Now, if this breaks below 102, I'll be short. Clean energy, This last one was a two position short cover, stop and reverse, scratch, short at the breakdown, and we're still short. I will add another position below 38. Real estate, stalking, U.S. steel. We closed that trade 2 days ago. I like this one, actually, the higher lows. Intraday, I can play that. Mexico, this one is. We covered this one. I didn't put the. Hold on. There was a scratch. I missed the long on that, though. Devon Energy, I missed the COTA 2. Cliff, missed the COTA 2 twice, but I'll catch it this one. And then Brazil, I'll be ready for a COTA 2 continuation. All right, that's everything for tonight. We'll get this published and posted. Merry Christmas, and see you next week.
Merry Christmas.